Hey guys, Joe here from Xbox Games. Check it out. Of course, we got the Adventure Force Battle Blazer. Now, this was sent over from the guys over at BuzzBee. They watched one of our other videos and was like, hey, we want you to give some honest reviews on some of our new blasters, which is awesome. So again, a big thank you to you guys. And yeah, we're going to give this thing an honest review and let you guys know out there, you know, is this worth something getting? Is it not? Is it cool? You know, what's it all about? So I actually passed this at our local Walmart a few times, and I just, you know, there was so many blasters I got to review, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I like the belt fed kind of up here, but I do have, yes, I have the V-twin, which is kind of, I figure it's like the big brother to this. So I was like, I don't want to do it because I got the big brother to it. But I thought, you know what? It's kind of a unique kind of pistol kind of blaster. And I was like, okay, you know what? Fine, send it on over. Let's check this thing out to see if it is something you guys want to get. Especially again if you can't afford the V-twin. But you know, again, a lot of the Adventure Force line, some of the stuff they've been coming out with here, the Spectrum, all those, dude, they've just been legit. They've been very well priced, and the performance is amazing. You guys have heard me rant and rave on that just a ton. And of course, you guys know me, right? I gotta talk about the drum mags. So, you know, when we picked up this, unbelievable, right? I just would buy those drum mags all day long. Okay, let's get to this. So, you know, the Battle Blazer, you know, at our local Walmart, they do sell right around about $9, so you guys can check it out there. Again, you know, we saw a lot of these on the shelves. They weren't anything that I noticed that were sold out. Some of the bigger things like the Spectrum and things like that, yeah, they happen to be sold out at our local Walmart. But still, this one I seen readily available on the shelves. So let's hop right in. Let's take a look at the actual box itself. So you can see, I mean, you know, the box itself is not too bad. I like how they do display that, you know, it's a 12-dart kind of, you know, kind of belt-driven or belt kind of fed magazine there. And I think that's cool. I'm always all about like the belt fed or, you know, something other than a non-standard clip, right? So it does come, of course, 12 darts. You can see it shoots up to 80 feet. And then if we take a look on the back here, it really displays more what this particular blaster is all about. So we can see it a little more detail. You got the cocking handle, the belt cover, the release button, right? The 12 shell adjustable auto advance, which is kind of cool. And then over on the side here, it just kind of goes through and says, hey, here's how it all works. Here's how you kind of put the thing together. Have fun. So the box, again, nothing too fancy on there, but still it's enough to kind of get you looking at it saying, yeah, you know what? Let's try this thing out. So if we take a look at the actual particular Battle Blaster itself, you know, it's not too bad. They didn't do too much when it comes to kind of the look and the feel to it with kind of the, you know, the engraving and the molding. It's kind of simple, right? They just give it kind of a little bit of a futuristic, kind of an alien type vibe look to it, but still nothing too crazy. When it comes to the actual grip itself, it's really one of the only things that I had a complaint on this particular thing about is there was just a lot going on down here, right? There's a lot of extra molding, a lot of grooves and things. It fits my hand well, but this kind of bottom piece down here kind of just pokes into my finger. I don't know. Again, it could be because I have the, you know, larger adult hands, but still it was my only complaint about this was just kind of the grip just kind of felt a little weird comparison to some of the other stuff in the Adventure Force line. Now, yes, the belt feed system itself, it does come with two little 6-inch pieces here, or two 6-slot pieces, which you kind of clip together, and you just throw it in the particular blaster. I was like, man, I was hoping this was going to be compatible, these little belt, the belt feeds here. I was hoping it was going to be compatible with, yes, I'm going to pull it up here. You guys know it. My V-twin. I love this thing, right? I love this thing. And if you guys haven't checked out the video on it, check it out over there. Man, gosh, I got to say, again, you know, if the guys over at BuzzBee are watching, I would love to have more of these, right? I would love just a huge like 100 of these, 1,000 of these. I would love to make a huge just blaster. But I did pick up 2 of these V-twins, and I was thinking, you know what? Let's see if kind of this belt feed system will work on the Battle Blazer. Now, it does actually fit in there, but unfortunately, they are a little bit smaller, as you can see. So it doesn't actually seal against kind of the air pusher back there. So when you fire it, it just doesn't go anywhere. It does advance, and it actually looks pretty sick when it's in there. I was like, man, if I could fit, you know, 100 of these on the front of this, that would be awesome. Or if I can get mass more of these and throw them on my twin or make something custom, that would be sick, wouldn't it? Anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there. I was like, man, they are not compatible, and I wish they were. I did try to throw this particular belt feed onto the V-Force, and unfortunately, it doesn't work because, again, the clips are a little bit different. On the Battle Blazer here, they are more a clip-in style, like a little plastic clip, done. And then, of course, on the V-Twin, it's more of this, it's like a little pin that goes through, so you got it's a little more effort, right, to modify this one comparison to this one. But I do like how these are fed, how these kind of clip together. It makes it really easy, and you don't need really any special tools. So, I know, right? I love that particular blaster. Okay, so getting back to this, one of the things about kind of these belt feeds is, you know, some people like to shoot kind of the smaller darts out of them. Some people don't. And for a couple of these, I actually snipped the back here, and I'll show you. I snipped the back where you can, you know, I always feel like it kind of restricts a little bit of the airflow to the dart. Kind of has that post that goes across, and then it has the post inside the actual kind of cavity there for the dart. So you can't really stick a half-length dart in there. So if you did pick up some of these kind of the half-length darts for the Adventure Pro stuff, oh yeah, you can't fit it down in their stock, but if you snip that little piece out there, I did notice you tended to get a little bit more of a consistent shot, as well as maybe just a little bit faster, because all of that air is going right to the dart, and it's not having to go around the post. I didn't actually shoot any of the Adventure Force Pro Series darts out of here, or the Dart Zone ones out here, but I will try that in the future. But I did try some stuff like the Worker 3 gens and things like that, and they all shot fine. I actually didn't really notice an increase in distance, maybe a couple feet with the smaller length darts. But again, you know, for a lot of you guys who are all about the small length darts or the half length darts, by all means, cut the little back post, shove them down in there, and you are good to go, right? And you could actually probably lighten and actually cut this belt feed down a little bit. Instead of having the full length, or you can mix and match, right? Throw a couple full length in there, throw a couple half length in there, your kind of choice. Now, it does come with 12 of the distance darts here. Now, it does claim to shoot up to 80 feet, and it all kind of depends on, you know, on the wind and the, you know, all of that stuff. And I got right about there. So, you know, I'm not complaining when it comes to distance on these, because, you know, you're going to get somewhere right around where they claim, unless it's something just ridiculously crazy. But to cock this particular blaster, it's pretty simple. Really, it just has the big cocking mechanism right there on the top. You just pull it back, and you're going to notice there's kind of like this kind of like downward piece on the back. So watch your fingers when you're back there, when you are pushing it back forward. But it's not a horrible cocking mechanism. Man, I wish that someone would come out with kind of like the T-handle. If you guys remember on the Chronos, one of the biggest upgrades for this thing was a T-handle in the back, because pulling this back is kind of hard, but being able to go like this and cock it back through the T-handle is awesome. And I think this is one of the biggest upgrades people did with their Chronos, and I'm waiting for a particular company to come out with kind of that mechanism back here, kind of built in. So instead of kind of cocking it back like this and having to worry about pinching your fingers, you can just pull that T-handle back. I mean, it makes it so much more easier to cock and fire, especially with a higher capacity kind of belt-fed, you know, system like this. You're going to be doing that a lot, and I was hoping that something like that would be back there so you can cock this thing really, really quick. Now, when it comes to this particular blaster as well, getting into kind of this belt feed system is pretty simple. You kind of have your unlocking mechanism up here at the front. You just push it, pops open, so you can get in there, rotate your belt-fed mag there, kind of move it around, do what you got to do, clamp it back down, and you're good to go. Now, one thing about this where I was like, oh, I wish it was on there, because almost on all the Adventure Force line I've been seeing this, is bump fire. Some people call it slam fire, whatever you want to call it, where you just hold the trigger and you go. But unfortunately, it won't cock when you're holding the trigger, so you have to cock, shoot, cock, shoot, cock, shoot. And, you know, if this was like six rounds, okay, I could see it. But when you're getting upwards of 10, 12, I really want to see that slam fire, bump fire on here, just because, again, I could see it where you're running and you're shooting and you're just trying to cock this thing and fire as many as you can down the line. So let's take a quick kind of reverse here so you guys can kind of see me shooting this thing. And again, I went ahead and threw all kinds of different darts in here. Again, you could shoot all kinds of things through here. But you can see me shooting. It shoots pretty good. I mean, it comes down to how fast can you actually cock this thing. And again, that's where I really would love that T-handle to come into place, or some type of mechanism for this to kind of replace that, right? Replace kind of that whole cocking mechanism up there. you know, just shooting it, you know, I was like, man, it's actually really consistent. So we hovered right at about 73 FPS all day long. And I was shooting all kinds of, again, darts out here, you know, the waffle tips and the Nerf stuff and the e-bike stuff. And it was just shooting all good. I didn't have any jams all day. I was running around with this thing, trying to purposely get this thing to misfire, and I couldn't get the thing to misfire unless I halfway loaded a dart in there, right, where the thing just got crammed in there. But it was consistent all day long, and for $9, my gosh. I mean, I wouldn't expect that performance from a $9 blaster, but still, you know, coming right in at about 75 and just shooting consistent all day long. Now, you guys, you know, when it comes to comparison, you know, a lot of people want to say, well, what does it compare to? What is it like against other blasters? So you can see here, I gave you kind of a quick idea of what it looks like up against, just say like a Kronos, as well as like a DS6. You know, they're all about the same size. Some of the other blasters are a little bit heavier than this particular blaster, the Battle Blazer, but still, they are about the same size. Really, when I was kind of trying to figure out a blaster that really compares to this thing, the best thing what I can come up with was the Roundhouse, you know, the Nerf rival Roundhouse here. And the Roundhouse it's significantly heavier and about triple the price. So that's why I was like, man, if I can get the Battle Blazer and just get a bunch more of these magazines or the belt fed, that would be awesome, right? Because, again, there's no bump fire on the Roundhouse. So if you guys want to check out this review, again, you guys can check it out there. But it was the best one that I can kind of figure and say, you know what, these are very similar, except it's 3 times the price. So it was hard to find something in this category with this type of performance, you know, this type of kind of uniqueness for around the $9 mark. It's almost impossible. That's why the Adventure Force guys, you know, and over at BuzzBee and stuff, I was just like, my gosh, it's hard to compare blasters because, you know, you're comparing a blaster that is 3 times the price. It's not really in the same league. But anyways, you know, again, I thank the guys over at BuzzBeeToys for sending me, you know, some blasters for me to review and give you guys an honest review on these things and what I actually think about them. I love it, you know, especially in 2020. The guys over at BuzzBee and Adventure Force and Dart Zone, I mean, they're coming out with stuff that is just ridiculous. Again, you guys can check this stuff out here. For the price, for what you get, it is unbelievable. I can't stress it enough. Where, you know, it used to be you'd go down the, you know, the Nerf aisle and you're like, oh, okay, cool, we got Nerf, and then we got everything else which we don't care about because it's not good. It's not that way anymore, guys. Like, you go down that aisle and I'm like, I kind of walk past the Nerf stuff and say, you know what? I'm not even like remotely interested because that stuff's like double the price, and I can get better performance out of stuff that is 1/3 the price. So it is crazy, and I'm so curious to see where kind of both these companies go, and you know, when it comes to Nerf and BuzzBee and all them, to kind of see what is going on out there. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this particular blaster. I would love to hear if you guys get it and if you guys have modified your belt feed system here or somehow got the bigger ones to work. But maybe I'll reach out to my contact and say, can you please send me more of these? Or maybe I'll just order more because I would love to have just a huge V-twin belt feed system. I did hook up 2 of these together, but I was like, you know what? You know, just I need more. I need like 1,000 rounds so I can just, when I'm shooting, you know, the kids and things like that, I can just lay rounds downstream all day long and not worry about it. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Definitely subscribe if you guys haven't already. I would say, you know what? Pick this particular blaster up if you haven't already. Again, it's unique, the price is right, and the performance is, you know, for my testing was super consistent. All right. Thanks again, Fox fans.